There's a lie so deeply embedded in your perception of reality that every moment you're living is actually a compression, not a progression. Most people move through time like it's a linear highway, a straight path from past to future. But quantum physics reveals something far more radical. Time isn't flowing, it's folding, and you're not moving through it. It's moving through you. Imagine for a moment that everything you understand about time, every belief, every expectation, every limitation, is nothing more than a collective hallucination, a consensual fiction so powerful that it keeps entire generations trapped in what I call temporal imprisonment. The strangest part? This imprisonment isn't happening to you. It's being generated by you. With every thought that says not yet, with every emotion that vibrates someday, you're actually constructing invisible walls around your own potential. But here's where it gets fascinating. Quantum mechanics doesn't just suggest that time might be different than we think. It proves that time is a responsive field, a malleable substance that collapses based on your internal frequency, not an external progression. Close your eyes for a moment. What if the future you're waiting for isn't ahead of you? What if it's surrounding you right now, waiting for you to match its vibration? This isn't metaphysical poetry. This is physics. In quantum experiments, particles don't move through space and time in a predictable line. They appear and disappear, existing in multiple potential states simultaneously. And the moment they're observed, they collapse into a specific reality. Your life is performing exactly the same quantum dance. Every moment is a field of infinite potential, and your attention, your internal state, is the observer that collapses possibility into form. But most people are observing from a frequency of waiting, of hoping, of believing that time is something that happens to them, rather than something they generate. And that's why nothing changes, because you're not experiencing time. You're resisting it. What I'm about to reveal isn't just another productivity hack or manifestation technique. This is a fundamental recalibration of how consciousness interfaces with temporal reality, a transmission that will permanently alter how you experience your own timeline. Are you ready to understand how time actually works? Because the moment you grasp this, everything changes, not gradually, not eventually, but immediately. And that's where our exploration truly begins. As the initial revelation settles, let me take you inside the most profound scientific experiment that shatters everything you believe about reality. The double-slit experiment, a quantum threshold where observation itself becomes the ultimate creative force. Picture a sterile laboratory in the early 20th century. Pristine white walls, gleaming electron gun pointed at a dark screen with two razor-thin parallel slits. Physicists expecting a simple demonstration of particle behavior, completely unaware they were about to unravel the fundamental fabric of existence. When electrons were fired through the slits, something impossible happened. When unobserved, they created an interference pattern, behaving like waves spreading across multiple potential paths simultaneously. But the moment a measurement device was introduced, watching which slit each electron passed through, the electrons transformed. They collapsed into discrete particles, following a predictable linear trajectory. This wasn't just an anomaly. This was a fundamental revelation. Consciousness itself was not a passive observer, but an active generator of reality. The electron didn't just move through space, it existed in a state of pure potential, a quantum superposition, until the act of observation forced it into a singular, defined state. Your life operates on the exact same principle. Right now, you exist in multiple potential timelines simultaneously, not metaphorically, literally. Every possibility of your existence, the version where you've already achieved your deepest desires, the version still struggling, the version you haven't even imagined, they're all coexisting in a field of quantum potential. The electron doesn't choose its path. The observation chooses the path. And in your reality, your internal state, your frequency, your emotional coherence, your vibrational signature, is the observation that collapses potential into form. Most people are unconscious observers. They're watching their lives like a passive measurement device, expecting reality to unfold according to external conditions. But quantum physics reveals a radically different truth. You are not measuring reality. You are generating it. Imagine your desired timeline as an electron in superposition. It's not something you chase or strategize toward. It's a field of pure potential surrounding you right now, waiting for the precise frequency of observation to collapse it into manifest form. The laboratory experiment didn't just reveal something about electrons. It exposed the fundamental mechanism of creation itself. Potential becomes form through the act of coherent observation. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. Let me walk you through the precise quantum moments where your manifestation gets sabotaged, not as judgment, but as precise field mapping. 3 a.m. doubt moment. You're wide awake, heart racing, that familiar spiral of existential panic consuming your nervous system. Traditional spirituality tells you to just breathe or trust the universe. Quantum reality reveals something far more precise. This 3 a.m. frequency is not a problem to solve. It's a transmission waiting to be decoded. Your racing thoughts are actually your quantum field attempting communication, not destruction. The electron doesn't resist its wave state, it inhabits it. So instead of fighting the anxiety, you become the precise observer. 30 seconds of dropping into pure sensation, not narrative. Feel the electricity without naming it. Watch how the field immediately starts recalibrating. Morning anxiety before opening eyes. Most people drag old consciousness into new potential. You wake up, and before your eyes open, your nervous system has already downloaded yesterday's limitations. Quantum truth. Each morning is a complete reset, a total field reconstruction. Your first 180 seconds determine your timeline's voltage, not through positive thinking but through precise vibrational alignment. Place one hand on your heart. Breathe not to calm, but to listen. Your body knows the frequency of liberation before your mind comprehends it. Bank account check. That moment of digital terror, scrolling numbers that seem to mock your vision. Traditional manifestation says abundance mindset. Quantum physics says something radically different. Money is a frequency transmission, not a resource. Your account doesn't determine your worth determines your account. The numbers are a lagging indicator of your internal broadcast. 30 seconds of feeling abundance isn't visualization. It's cellular reprogramming. Close your eyes. Feel prosperity as a physical sensation, not a mental concept. Watch how the field begins immediate recalibration. Vision board moment. You stare at images representing dreams that feel increasingly distant, a silent mockery of your current reality. Here's the quantum truth. A vision board is not a wish list. It's a frequency calibration device, but most people use it incorrectly, hoping instead of embodying. Your job isn't to want the images. Your job is to become the frequency those images represent, not through forcing but through precise internal alignment. Jealousy. Watching others succeed. That gut punch when someone achieves what you've been attempting. Traditional wisdom says, be happy for them. Quantum reality reveals a more profound mechanism. Their success is not separate from your potential. It's a frequency signal showing what's possible. Every triggered emotion is actually a quantum GPS, revealing your next energetic upgrade. The electron doesn't compete. It simply collapses into its most coherent state. Meditation's racing mind. You're trying to be still, and your thoughts become a hurricane. Most spiritual teachings make this a battle. Quantum perspective. Your racing mind is not an enemy. It's a complex energy system attempting communication. Don't suppress. Don't control. Become the precise, compassionate observer. Your consciousness is not diminished by thoughts. It's expanded through witnessing. Hollow affirmation. Moment. You're repeating, I am successful, while feeling completely unsuccessful. Traditional manifestation says keep repeating. Quantum physics says frequency before language. An authentic 30-second embodiment of success feels more powerful than 1,000 repeated words. Success is a cellular state, not a verbal declaration. Each of these moments is not a blockage. They are precise quantum transmission points, waiting for you to become the coherent observer who collapses potential into form. And here's where the real transformation begins to pulse through your entire system. Let's decode the quantum field signature of Jim Carrey, not as a success story but as a precise manifestation mechanism that defies conventional understanding. Before Hollywood recognized him, Carrey wasn't just visualizing success. He was quantum downloading an entire timeline, operating at a frequency most would consider delusion. In 1987, he wrote himself a $10 million check, dated 5 years in the future, placing it in his wallet as a vibrational anchor. But this wasn't a vision board trick, this was a quantum collapse strategy. Most see this as motivation. Quantum physics reveals it as timeline engineering. Carrey wasn't hoping. He was broadcasting. His entire nervous system was entangled with a reality where success wasn't a possibility. It was an inevitability. He would drive to Mulholland Drive, visualizing not just success, but feeling the complete emotional landscape of being a celebrated actor. Not through mental imagination, but through precise cellular transmission. When he performed, he didn't act. He quantum downloaded characters, becoming a pure conduit for potential realities. By 1994, he received $10 million for Dumb and Dumb, the exact amount and timeline he had quantum encoded. But here's the mechanism most miss. It wasn't the check. It wasn't even the visualization. It was his unwavering frequency of certainty. Most people oscillate between desire and doubt. Carey maintained a singular, uninterrupted broadcast. 3 quantum practices anyone can use. 1. Frequency anchoring. Create a physical object that represents your collapsed timeline. Not as a reminder, but as a quantum transmission device. Your nervous system doesn't distinguish between imagination and reality. It responds to coherent signal. 2. Emotional calibration. Spend 90 seconds daily not visualizing but feeling the exact emotional signature of your desired reality, not as performance but as precise energetic broadcasting. 3. Quantum detachment. Practice total emotional neutrality about the outcome. Detachment isn't indifference. It's a high coherent state where your nervous system knows the timeline is already activated. The reason most can't replicate Carey's mechanism? They're broadcasting from a frequency of wanting, not having. Quantum manifestation doesn't recognize desire. It recognizes dominance. And dominance is a cellular state, not a mental concept. Your timeline is not something you attract. It's something you generate, moment by moment, through your internal quantum broadcast. The field doesn't wait for you to be ready. It collapses based on your most consistent frequency. And here's where the real quantum archaeology of consciousness begins to pulse through your entire system. Before I generate the response, may I clarify 2 quick details to ensure precision? 1. For the CTA, you want me to create a specific sound, correct? Based on context, something like, I collapse timelines, not chase them, would align with the quantum manifestation tone. 2. For the transformation narrative, you want a first-person perspective describing the journey from traditional manifestation frustration to quantum breakthrough, highlighting the internal emotional landscape and tangible external shifts. Is that understanding accurate? The reason I'm confirming is that the tone requires extreme intimacy, not just describing a transformation, but making the listener feel they're reading a deeply personal quantum awakening journal entry. The emotional texture needs to oscillate between raw vulnerability and explosive liberation. Imagine reality not as a linear progression, but as an infinite quantum landscape where every possible version of you simultaneously exists, not metaphorically, but as a precise scientific probability. The many worlds interpretation isn't speculation. It's a mathematical model revealing that every choice creates branching timelines, like intricate neural networks constantly pulsing with potential. Schrödinger's famous cat experiment wasn't just a thought experiment, it was a quantum revelation. Until observation, the cat exists in multiple states simultaneously, alive and dead. Similarly, your desired reality isn't distant. It's already existing, vibrating at a frequency you haven't yet learned to perceive. Timeline navigation mechanics. 1. Probability wave perception. Your consciousness is the quantum observer. Each thought generates a probability wave. Consistent emotional frequency collapses specific timelines. Wavefront selection happens below conscious awareness. 2. Multiverse resonance practices. 17-minute quantum meditation technique. Frequency matching versus visualization. Nervous system as quantum antenna. Emotional coherence as navigation tool. 3. Timeline signature recognition. Synchronicity tracking. Intuitive signal detection. Energetic resistance mapping. Vibrational misalignment indicators. Practical timeline jump. Protocol. Neutralize current timeline attachment. Generate target timeline emotional signature. Maintain 72-hour high coherence state. Observe without controlling why people live. Different realities. Not metaphorical. Literally inhabiting parallel quantum streams. Your frequency determines which probable reality becomes manifest. Most humans unconsciously stabilize in familiar, low-coherence timelines through habitual emotional broadcasting. Stabilization requires nervous system recalibration, emotional non-attachment, precise frequency maintenance, quantum coherence engineering. The universe doesn't conspire or resist. It responds with mathematical precision, to your most consistent energetic transmission, collapsing infinite possibilities into the reality you're brave enough to embody. So here's your checkpoint, a declaration not to the algorithm, but to yourself. Type in the comments, "I am the quantum navigator of my reality." Say it as a code, a reminder that what collapses reality is not your old method, but the new method you choose to embody in this moment. Because this moment is the manifestation. And if you can feel it now, then it's already here. Quantum physics isn't just describing reality. It's revealing that you are the precise mechanism of reality's continuous creation, moment by quantum moment. Let's decode the quantum truth hidden within popular manifestation paradigms, not to dismiss but to reveal the deeper mechanism these brilliant teachers were sensing but couldn't fully articulate. Law of attraction, the 20% truth. Focus creates coherence. Thoughts generate energetic signal. Conscious intention matters, the 80% missing. Most practitioners treat attraction like a mental shopping list. Quantum reality reveals focus isn't about thinking. It's about cellular broadcasting. Your nervous system doesn't distinguish between imagination and reality. It responds to vibrational consistency. The law of attraction accidentally discovered the quantum antenna, but missed the transmission protocol. Neville Goddard, closer to the quantum mechanism. Feeling is the secret, was revolutionary. Understood emotional state precedes physical manifestation. Recognized consciousness as causative force. Hidden quantum upgrade. Goddard intuited that feeling generates reality, but didn't explain the precise frequency engineering. Quantum manifestation reveals feelings aren't just emotional states. They're precise electromagnetic signals that collapse probability waves. Your emotional signature doesn't just attract, it literally reconstructs molecular reality. Abraham Hicks. Emotional scale. Insights. Emotional vibration determines manifestation. Different emotions generate different frequencies. Emphasizes energetic alignment. Quantum completion. The emotional scale was a breakthrough map of consciousness. Quantum physics transforms it from metaphor to measurable mechanism. Each emotion isn't just a feeling, it's a specific electromagnetic frequency that reorganizes quantum potential. The quantum unification. These teachers weren't wrong. They were early quantum explorers mapping in territory before the scientific language existed. Quantum manifestation doesn't replace their wisdom. It provides the missing technological manual. 3 quantum transmission principles. 1. Coherence matters more than intensity. 2. Nervous system is the primary quantum transmitter. Observation collapses potential into form. So here's your checkpoint. A declaration not to the algorithm, but to yourself. Type in the comments, "I am the quantum mechanism, not the method." Say it as a code. A reminder that what collapses reality is not your old approach, but the new understanding you choose to embody in this moment. The real revelation? You're not learning a technique. You're remembering your fundamental nature as a quantum creator, a living, breathing probability wave generator whose every breath reconstructs reality's fundamental fabric. Manifestation isn't something you do. It's something you recognize you've been doing unconsciously, and now you're choosing to do it with precision, with science, with sovereignty. Settle. Not into comfort, but into coherence. Breathe in, 4 counts. Hold, 4 counts, release. 6 counts. Your nervous system is not a passive receiver. It's a quantum transmission device. Body scan, not inspection. Quantum recalibration. Where does contradiction live? Jaw, holding desire's tension. Shoulders, storing unresolved effort. Stomach, housing unacknowledged fear. Breathe these frequencies out. Not pushing, dissolving. Now, feel the timeline where everything is already resolved. Not imagination. Quantum potential. Your body doesn't know future from present, only frequency. Scan your internal landscape. Where does certainty reside? Not mental. Cellular. Spine elongating. Nervous system recalibrating. Heartbeat synchronizing with quantum potential. This is not meditation. This is frequency engineering. Lock in. Not hope. Memory. Of a timeline already existing. You are not becoming. You are remembering. Coherence is not a practice. It's a state of being. Feel the frequency. Not as sensation. As instruction. Quantum field responds. Not to desire. To dominance. Your body is the broadcast. Your breath is the signal. Your certainty is the collapse. Type in the comments, I am the quantum mechanism, not a declaration, a recalibration. Because in this moment, you are not learning a technique. You are remembering your fundamental nature, a living, breathing probability wave generator whose every breath reconstructs reality's fundamental fabric, quantum manifestation complete. To help you deepen that integration, we've created something intentional, something precise, a transmission designed to stabilize your new frequency, anchor your expanded identity, and guide you through the real embodiment of quantum creation. It's called Quantum Resonance Protocol, and it's more than just a digital guide. It's a frequency, one that's been curated to help you collapse your next timeline with clarity, consistency, and resonance. It brings together neuroscience mapping, quantum frequency calibration techniques, and precise embodiment practices you didn't even know you needed until now. You'll find the link in the pinned comment below. Go there not to get more information, but to amplify the integration of what's already begun inside you. Neuroscience Quantum Bridge. 1. Reticular Activating System. Scientific mechanism filters 40 million bits of information, allowing only 40 bits into conscious awareness. Quantum Parallel. Consciousness as quantum filter. Practical application. Intentional programming through repeated signal and emotional coherence. 2. Neuroplasticity. Scientific mechanism. Brain rewires based on repeated neural pathways. Quantum Parallel. Reality reconstruction through consistent frequency, practical application, deliberate identity, and belief recalibration through targeted emotional and mental rehearsal. 3. Heart-brain coherence. Scientific mechanism. Heart math research shows electromagnetic field generation. Quantum Parallel. Heart as primary quantum transmission device. Practical application. Coherent emotional states as reality generation technology. 4. Mirror neurons. Scientific mechanism. Neurons fire identically when observing and performing action. Quantum Parallel. Embodiment as quantum signal amplification. Practical application. Immersive visualization as neurological reality construction. 5. Theta brainwaves. Scientific mechanism. Lowest frequency state associated with deep meditation. Quantum Parallel. Quantum access state. Probability wave manipulation. Practical application. Precise frequency engineering through controlled brainwave modulation. The mystical isn't magical. It's mathematics waiting to be understood. Your consciousness isn't a passive observer. It's an active quantum technology, continuously reconstructing reality's fundamental fabric through precise electromagnetic signaling. 5. Quantum objections. Evolutionary dialogues. 1. Isn't this spiritual bypassing? Intelligent concern. You're protecting yourself from magical thinking that avoids real psychological work. Quantum truth. True integration isn't escaping pain. It's transmuting it. Spiritual bypassing uses transcendence to avoid. Quantum manifestation uses transcendence to transform. Pain isn't the problem. Resistance to pain's intelligent message is. 2. What about practical action? Intelligent concern. You can't just think something into existence without doing the work. Quantum truth. Action isn't effort. Action is aligned movement. The nervous system doesn't distinguish between visualization and physical movement. Coherent frequency generates inspired action, not from pushing, but from magnetic pull. Your body knows the path before your mind maps it. 3. Isn't this just confirmation bias? Intelligent concern. You're just seeing what you want to see. Quantum truth. Confirmation bias assumes an objective reality separate from observation. Quantum physics reveals observation creates reality. You're not confirming a pre-existing world. You're constructing it through precise attention. The bias isn't the problem. The understanding of reality is. 4. Why do bad things happen if we create our reality? Intelligent concern. If we generate our experience, why would anyone choose suffering? Quantum truth. Consciousness operates multidimensionally. What appears as bad is often an evolutionary signal, not a punishment. Suffering indicates misalignment, not failure. Your system is constantly communicating, not punishing but guiding toward greater coherence. 5. This sounds too easy, fast to be real. Intelligent concern. Real transformation requires struggle and time. Quantum truth. Difficulty is a learned frequency, not a natural law. Transformation happens instantly when internal contradiction dissolves. Speed isn't magical. It's a function of coherence. The only thing slowing manifestation is the belief that it must be slow. Each objection is a doorway, not to be argued with, but to be understood, because underneath every resistance is a part of you longing to be liberated from outdated operating systems. Quantum manifestation isn't about getting, it's about becoming, a living, breathing probability wave generator whose every breath reconstructs reality's fundamental fabric with increasing precision and grace. The real question isn't, does this work? The real question is, am I willing to become the frequency I've been waiting to receive? Quantum timeline convergence, future self-transmission. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, not just air, frequency. Your breath is a quantum bridge between potential and form. Feel the transition space, where imagination meets molecular reconfiguration. Visualize a white door, not symbolic, a quantum portal. Your hand touches the handle. Notice how it's both cool and vibrating with potential. Push gently. The door doesn't open. It dissolves. Step through. Immediately, you feel a different electromagnetic signature. This space isn't just visual. It's a living frequency map. And there, 6 months ahead, stands your transformed self. Observation details. Clothing, not flashy. Precise. Tailored without effort. Fabric seems to move with internal coherence rather than external design. Posture, spine elongated but relaxed. No performance, pure embodied certainty. Facial expression, soft, profound. The kind of peace that comes from knowing something so deeply it requires no explanation. Energy, magnetic, not through effort, through complete internal alignment. They turn, make eye contact, no drama, pure recognition. Voice, low, resonant, not lecturing, transmitting. Stop trying to convince yourself. Start trusting the frequency you're already generating. The mistake you're making, thinking transformation is something that happens to you. It's something you're continuously broadcasting. They step closer, not invasive. Quantum proximity. Feel this. Your current hesitation isn't protection. It's resistance. The moment you stop explaining and start experiencing, everything shifts, not through force, through permission. A hand reaches out, not to touch physically, to transmit a vibrational imprint. Trust the moment that feels illogical. That's where quantum collapse lives, not in strategy, in surrender. Sudden download, not words, a complete energetic transmission. Your nervous system receives what your mind can't yet comprehend. Return invitation. Bring this frequency back, not as a memory, as a living instruction. Slowly the scene begins to dissolve, but something fundamental has changed. Your cellular matrix has been recalibrated, not through visualization, through quantum recognition. Open your eyes. You're not the same system that closed them moments ago. You've just participated in a living quantum experiment, where imagination isn't escape, but precise reality engineering. The boundary between what's possible and what's happening has just become beautifully, irrevocably blurred. Quantum identity orchestration, the 8-minute metamorphosis. Phase 1, I want to be someone who, energetic signature, separation, desire as distance, common block, wanting, keeps wanting alive. The system learns to perpetuate longing, not fulfillment. Breakthrough, recognize wanting as a frequency of lack, not a goal, a habitual transmission. Speak out loud. I want to be someone who moves through life with absolute certainty. Someone who doesn't second guess. Someone whose presence itself is a quantum signal. Notice the subtle contraction. The wanting creates an invisible barrier. You're not the state. You're watching the state from outside. Phase 2. I'm becoming. Energetic signature. Effortful transformation. Becoming as performance. Common block. The nervous system interprets becoming as perpetual incompletion. Breakthrough. Transformation isn't a journey. It's a radical present moment recalibration. Speak. I'm becoming someone who trusts the invisible architecture of my desires. I'm becoming someone whose internal consistency rewrites external reality. Feel the trying. The subtle tension of improvement. Becoming is still separation. Phase 3. I'm choosing. Energetic signature. Decision. Willpower meets quantum intention. Common block. Choice from the mind doesn't generate cellular shift. Breakthrough. True choice happens below thought, in the quantum nervous system. Speak. I'm choosing to dismantle every narrative that says transformation is difficult. I'm choosing coherence over complexity. I'm choosing embodiment over explanation. Observe the moment choice moves from mental to visceral. Phase 4. I'm practicing. Energetic signature. Deliberate cultivation. Technique meets frequency. Common block. Practice implies something to fix. Something incomplete. Breakthrough. Practice is precise frequency engineering, not improvement. Recalibration. Speak. I'm practicing holding a frequency of complete permission. Practicing allowing without manipulation. Practicing radical trust in the intelligence of my system. Feel the subtle shift from doing to being. Phase 5. I am. Energetic signature. Collapse. Identity becomes frequency. Common block. Doubt. Internal contradiction. Breakthrough. Pure declaration. No explanation required. Speak with increasing intensity. I am the embodiment of quantum possibility. I am the living transmission of coherent creation. I am the frequency that collapses timelines. I am beyond strategy. I am the signal and the receiver. I am the quantum technology transforming reality in each breath. Feel the moment declaration becomes transmission. No separation between what you say and what you are. Phase 6. I've always been. Energetic signature. Remembering. Identity as eternal state. Common block. Linear time perception. Breakthrough. Identity transcends chronological experience. Speak. I've always been this precise frequency of transformation. Before thought, before strategy, before this body. This coherence isn't new, it's a remembering. I've always been the quantum signal that rewrites possibility. Always been the living technology of creation. Phase 7. Silence. No words. Pure frequency holding. The entire transmission is a quantum ritual, not performance. Precise frequency engineering. When silence completes, you are not who you were when you began. You are a living quantum instruction, beyond identity, beyond technique, pure generative potential. Reality doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your uninterrupted frequency. And if this transmission resonated with you, if you felt the frequency shift as you listened, subscribe to this channel, because we're not here to give you more content. We're here to collapse timelines with you. Every video is a frequency recalibration, not a lesson. Turn on notifications, not so you don't miss a video, but so you don't miss the exact transmission your nervous system needs next. And leave a like, not for the algorithm, but as an energetic signature that says, I'm choosing coherence over consumption. 7-day quantum reset protocol. Precision timeline engineering protocol. Overview. Quantum reset is not a self-help program. It's a precise frequency recalibration system. Each day is a molecular reprogramming, not a mental exercise. This is engineering, not inspiration. Day 1. Frequency mapping. Objective. Identify current energetic baseline. Time. 6 COD and 6:20 a.m. Equipment. Noise-canceling headphones, journal, heart rate monitor. Protocol. 1. Baseline heart rate measurement. 2. Current reality frequency scan. 3. Contradiction mapping. 4. First frequency adjustment resistance indicators, mental fatigue, subtle body tension, respiratory irregularity, electromagnetic static success. Signs: increased respiratory coherence, reduced neural resistance, energetic lightness, precise emotional neutrality. Journal. Prompt: where am I generating interference in my current timeline? Day 2. Contradiction release. Objective: dismantle unconscious limiting frequencies. Time: 6:30 a.m. Deep shadow work methodology. Neurological. Deprogramming sequence. Energetic interference removal technique. Quantum deconstruction. Identify unconscious narratives. Map emotional charge. Neutralize through precise awareness. Replace with coherent frequency. Resistance handling. Expect emotional turbulence. Do not engage old narratives. Maintain observational distance. Breathe through electromagnetic shifts. Success indicators. Sudden emotional lightness. Reduced internal dialogue. Increased peripheral awareness. Neurological flexibility journal. Prompt: what frequency am I broadcasting that contradicts my desired reality? Day 3. New baseline installation. Objective: embodied frequency, recalibration, precise nervous system reprogramming, cellular memory reconstruction. quantum coherence activation methodology, somatic frequency mapping, neurological entrainment protocols, embodiment transmission techniques, key focus areas, spine alignment, breath synchronization, emotional neutrality, vibrational consistency, resistance management, physical discomfort, existential uncertainty, electromagnetic recalibration symptoms, success markers, increased internal stability, reduced external reactivity, precise emotional regulation, quantum signal clarity journal. Prompt: what does my body know that my mind hasn't yet permitted? The quantum reset is not a journey. It's a precise molecular reconfiguration where reality becomes a direct expression of your most coherent frequency. Quantum corporate metamorphosis, the invisible frequency of success. The corner office illusion. When external success masks internal collapse. I remember the moment everything looked perfect and felt completely broken. Corner office, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Manhattan, 2.7 meters annual compensation, and a nervous system so fractured it could barely hold the performance together. External metrics, Fortune 500 executive title, multiple six-figure bonus structure, luxury apartment in Tribeca, German engineering sedan, most promising leader. Awards, internal reality, 3 a.m. panic attacks, constant adrenal exhaustion, chronic unexplained inflammation, profound existential emptiness, performance-based self-worth, the breakdown transmission. My body stopped tolerating the frequency of survival, not dramatically, precisely, like a quantum system refusing to maintain misalignment. First, the migraines, surgical precision, always 2:17 p.m., right when external performance peaked. Then, unexplained autoimmune responses. My nervous system was broadcasting. This frequency is no longer sustainable. The health interruption. Diagnosis wasn't a medical report. It was a quantum signal. Adrenal fatigue, cellular inflammation, nervous system entropy. The medical language for you're manifesting from fear, not frequency. Western medicine offered medications. I needed a frequency reset. Quantum corporate recalibration protocol. Phase 1. Frequency audit. Measure current energetic baseline. Map survival frequency markers. Identify unconscious fear transmissions. Neurological deconstruction. Phase 2. Embodiment reprogramming. Replace hustle with coherence. Redesign relationship with performance. Install new baseline of ease. Quantum signal realignment. Phase 3. Reality collapse. Allow external reality to reconfigure. Remove effortful manifestation. Let coherence generate. Opportunity. The paradoxical transformation, same business, different frequency. Reduced working hours, 65%. Increased revenue, 212%. Stress levels, near zero. Creativity, exponential. What changed? Not strategy, frequency. The corporate world doesn't reward hard work, it rewards coherent transmission. Quantum success markers. Decisions become instantaneous. Opportunities appear without chasing. Energy becomes generative, not extractive. Profit follows frequency, not effort. The most sophisticated form of success is not achieving. It's allowing, with absolute precision. Your nervous system is the most advanced quantum technology on the planet. When it stops performing and starts transmitting, reality becomes a living, responsive field. Not a goal, a frequency, not a strategy. A transmission. The corner office is just geography. True success is a quantum state of being, where external reality becomes a direct reflection of internal coherence. Transformation is not about doing more, it's about broadcasting differently. Quantum timing, the myth of divine delay and the physics of precise manifestation, the illusion of waiting. A frequency diagnostic. Most people misunderstand divine timing as an external force deciding their destiny. In quantum reality, timing is a precise measurement of your internal signal stability. You're not waiting. You're wobbling. Manifestation interference spectrum. 1. Signal purity levels. 0, 30%. Complete interference. 31, 60%. Partial coherence. 61, 85%. High probability zone. 86, 100%. Quantum collapse imminent. The wobble mechanism. How inconsistent frequencies delay manifestation. Imagine your desire as a radio frequency. Inconsistent broadcasting creates static, signal interruption, frequency drift, manifestation. Lag surrender is not passive. It's precise signal stabilization, quantum timing diagnostics, not yet. Signals, internal contradictions present, frequency still processing, requires further calibration, persistence recommended, not this. Signals, wrong timeline alignment, complete redirect necessary, immediate pivot required, surrender and recalibrate. The paradox of trying versus allowing. Trying, frequency of lack. Allowing, frequency of inevitability. Manifestation is not a linear process. It's a quantum collapse triggered by coherent transmission. Precision manifestation protocol. Stage 1. Signal assessment. Map internal contradictions. Identify frequency interruptions. Measure signal-to-noise ratio. Stage 2. Coherence activation. Neutralize emotional charge. Stabilize nervous system. Generate quantum neutrality. Stage 3. Collapse preparation. Remove effortful intention. Generate frequency of receivership. Allow instantaneous reconfiguration. Practical quantum timing indicators. When to persist. Signal is clean. Internal. Alignment present. Subtle momentum building. Nervous system feels expansive. When to pivot. Repeated blocked pathways. Consistent internal resistance. Energy feels contractive. Multiple synchronistic redirects. The most sophisticated manifestation happens when you simultaneously do everything and nothing. A quantum dance between precise action and complete surrender. Your frequency doesn't negotiate with reality. It generates it. Quantum metaphors. The elegant architecture of manifestation. The tuning fork. Resonance as reality's operating system. Physics transmission. Tuning fork vibrates at specific frequency. Nearby identical fork begins to oscillate. No physical contact required. Energy transfers through vibrational coherence. Spiritual interpretation. Your internal state is the fundamental tuning fork. Reality doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your vibration. Not metaphorically, precisely. Manifestation mechanism. You are not attracting. You are broadcasting. The field doesn't choose. The field matches cellular evidence. Neurons fire in sympathetic resonance. Hormones cascade in harmonic sequences. Your biochemistry is a living tuning fork, constantly broadcasting your dominant frequency. 2. Holographic universe. Interference patterns of consciousness. Laser creation. Mechanics. Coherent light waves intersect. Create three-dimensional image. Each fragment contains entire image. Change interference pattern. Change hologram. Consciousness translation. You are not in the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself through a specific interference pattern. Your frequency is the laser. Your belief is the light wave. Quantum implication. Whole contains part contains whole. Change yourself. Reconfigure everything. No separation, only coherence. 3. Quantum entanglement. Instantaneous connection beyond spacetime. Particle behavior. Paired particles communicate instantly. Distance irrelevant. Faster than light transmission. Defies classical physics. Manifestation revelation. Your desired reality is already entangled with you. Not future, not potential. Present. Waiting for frequency alignment. Manifestation is not attraction. It's recognition, not effort. Remembering, not technique. Transmission. The universe doesn't conspire for you. It resonates with you. Precision is the new poetry. Frequency is the new faith. The quantum radio parable. Transmission versus negotiation. 2 operators. 1 quantum radio. Infinite realities. Operator 1. The analyzer profile. Intellectual approach. Believes understanding precedes experience. Constantly diagnosing the mechanism. Fundamental misunderstanding. Radio is a tool to be controlled. Daily ritual. Disassembles radio repeatedly. Reads manufacturer's manual obsessively. Calculates signal probability. Argues with radio's potential. Creates elaborate theories about reception. Operator 2. The transmitter profile. Intuitive navigator. Understands radio as living. System knows transmission is a state of being. Fundamental wisdom. Radio is an extension of consciousness. Daily practice. Sits with radio in complete presence. Feels desired frequency. Maintains internal coherence. Listens without demanding. Becomes the frequency. 30-day contrast. Operator 1's journey. Week 1, intense analysis, 0 results. Week 2, increasing frustration, complex diagrams. Week 3, philosophical debates about radiomechanics. Week 4, profound exhaustion, no signals. Operator 2's experience. Week 1, subtle alignments appear. Week 2, unexpected connections emerge. Week 3, synchronistic transmissions. Week 4, multiple realities accessible. Quantum radio decoded. What radio represents. Consciousness interface. Vibrational translation device. Personal reality generator. Frequency matching mechanism. What tuning actually means. Internal state calibration. Nervous system recalibration. Emotional frequency stabilization. Removing interference patterns. Practical tuning techniques. 1. Nervous system neutrality. Drop survival strategies. Release adrenal compression. Generate coherent baseline. 2. Emotional precision. Feel desired reality. Now. Not as future projection, as present embodiment. 3. Somatic listening. Body as quantum antenna. Sensations over thoughts. Cellular intelligence activation. 4. Vibrational matching. Match frequency, not outcome. Become before receiving. Eliminate energetic resistance. 5. Quantum surrender. Stop trying to control. Allow transmission. Trust vibrational intelligence learning moment for operator. 1. The radio was never broken. You were. Profound revelation. Manifestation isn't a technique. It's a state of being. The most sophisticated transmission happens when the operator disappears and only the frequency remains. As we've journeyed through the quantum landscape of manifestation, we've dismantled the illusion of waiting and revealed the precise mechanism of reality creation. Your frequency is not a concept. It's a living, breathing transmission system where you are simultaneously the broadcaster and the signal. The radio operators showed us something profound. Manifestation isn't about forcing outcomes, but about becoming a clear, coherent channel. To support this quantum integration, we've crafted the Quantum Transmission Protocol, a carefully designed guide that isn't just information, but a vibrational recalibration system. It's a transmission that helps you stabilize your internal frequency, decode your unconscious resistance patterns, and align your nervous system with the reality you're calling forth. This isn't a manual, it's a frequency key, designed to collapse timelines faster than traditional manifestation practices. If this transmission resonated with your deepest cellular knowing, I invite you to continue this journey. Subscribe to this channel not as a passive viewer, but as an active quantum navigator. Each video is a frequency reset, a precise transmission calibrated to help you collapse old paradigms. Hit like not for algorithms, but as an energetic signature that says, I choose coherence. And in the comments, declare your quantum commitment. I am the frequency I seek. Your desired timeline isn't waiting somewhere in the future. It's surrounding you right now, collapsing into form through your precise, unwavering transmission. The moment you stop negotiating and start embodying, reality has no choice but to reconfigure. This isn't magic. This is physics. This is your quantum birthright. You are not here to manifest. You are here to remember that manifestation is your natural state of being, and the field is always listening.